Hey everyone, welcome back. I've always liked salmon, but this is the recipe that made me fall in love with it, so I'm excited to share it with you all. Let's get started. Today I'm using an almost 3-pound salmon fillet, which will give us 7 servings for 3 points each on blue and purple, 12 points on green. I'm using these cheese and garlic croutons for our breading, but you could also use regular breadcrumbs. I'm using a mixture of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, the light one, and light butter with canola oil, using a tablespoon of each. Some grated Parmesan cheese. For our herbs, I'll be using fresh parsley and fresh garlic. And finally, these are the seasonings we'll be using today. First thing I'm going to do is cover my cookie sheet with aluminum foil and spray it with canola oil. Then I'm going to take my fillet and season both sides with all of our seasonings. So our seasoning salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and dried thyme. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side, like that. Now I'm going to set the fillet aside and prepare the crust. To start off, I'm going to chop up our parsley. I used about 1/5 of the bunch, and after cutting off the bigger stems, I chopped the parsley until there were no big pieces left. There's no exact science to this, but you want the parsley small enough where you don't have any big chunks when you're eating. Next, I'm going to mince 5 cloves of garlic using this handy mincer, which makes quick work of my garlic with little effort. And then finally, melt our butter. As a heads up, make sure to microwave this in no more than 10-second intervals to avoid it exploding. This took about 15 seconds. Then you want to take a bag. We usually use a near empty bag of croutons, which makes a great option here. Add our croutons and pound them into breadcrumbs. You could definitely use a food processor for this step or just buy breadcrumbs as another option, but this has always been our method, and it's nice to have that extra seasoning that comes on the breadcrumbs for your crust. We like to season these a bit more with a little seasoning salt and dried thyme before adding our melted butter, stirring everything up so it coats the breadcrumbs. Next, we'll add in our parsley, our Parmesan cheese, and our minced garlic, mixing everything together. I found that stirring it up does work better than just shaking the bag, I believe because of the parsley, but once your mixture looks something like this, we're ready to crust our salmon. At first I was spooning the mixture on, but then I found it a lot easier to just use my hands. You want to cover as much of the salmon as possible using the breadcrumb mixture, packing it on as you go. Once you've covered the entire thing, spray the top with a little canola oil and bake at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of your fillet. I pulled this out at 17 minutes and it wasn't quite done enough for us, so I baked it for another 3 minutes and it was perfect. And that's it. This was a super tasty dinner which we paired with roasted Brussels sprouts and roasted potatoes. Enjoy!